Welcome back to another Workout Wednesday. I'm Tyler Parsons with Parsons Golf Performance. This week, we're going to be tying in the exercises that are going to allow you to learn to open up those hips, clear them back while staying down in the posture. I know a lot of you really struggle with liking to stand up. The butt comes in, we get taller, causes you to miss hit. We have to flip the hands, inconsistent timing. Let's dive into those exercises and help improve that golf game. Okay, for the first exercise, what I want you to do, we're going to test it and see how you are. We want to get set up in that golf posture. I want you to roll the hips back into an anterior tilt. I want you to roll them through into our posterior. Okay, it's going to be very important that we can move those hips accordingly without any shaking. But what that's really going to do is as we come through, we're actually going to roll those hips back into that anterior while we come around. So if those hips are locked up and you're unable to do that movement, it's going to be very difficult for us to get there, clearing those hips without allowing them to set back. So if this is something we struggle with, here's the exercise to improve it. We're going to go down onto all fours, and we're just going to do cats and dogs. So I'm going to start with a nice straight back. I want to roll it down. I'm then going to roll it up and under, and you can see I'm arching that back as much as I can, allowing for those hips to go under, flattening it out, back, up and under. This is more of a motor learning. I've seen a lot of people who struggle with this, that as soon as we put them down in this position, and they understand what to use and what to shut off, it immediately clicks. This is going to be a must to stay down through that posture and rotate. Exercise 2 is a no-brainer. We're going to look at the internal rotation of those hips. As we come around, we're internally rotating onto this front foot for the golfer. So we need to be able to really rotate down and through, again, with the butt being back. But any limitation on this hip, especially on this front side, is going to cause you to almost get stuck. And again, that's where we're going to want to stand up, okay? So an easy way to check our internal rotation is we're down on the back, hands together. How far out can we get those legs to go? So if we're the person that goes to here, we're very limited. We want them to try and reach about 45 degrees. If you're limited with that, that test itself is going to be a great way to work through activating those muscles, but an even easier way for you to stretch it out is to go with those feet outside of shoulder width. Try and keep your butt and hip bone on the ground while we drop the leg down. So I'm more focused on this leg. This one is not as much. And then I'm going to come up, just even it out. Same thing, really keep the hip down, push that leg down, holding just for a second. So that's going to add in the extra range of motion, and then we can go through and activate once we're done. That will really help you stay braced while we're getting down and through here. For this one, we're going to break this down into 2 different segments. We're going to look at your overhead deep squat, and while there's more to it than that, we're going to try to simplify the best we can. To test, feet shoulder width apart, toes forward, want the club straight up over your head. From there, I want you to squat down as low as you can go. I'll show you from the front on view. And here's what we're looking for. So from a front on, do we like to favor one side or the other? The really big thing from here is, are we able to squat down? Can I get my thighs to meet or break parallel to the ground? What does that back look like? And are we able to keep the club up overhead, or does it like to go out in front of the toes? So here's where we're breaking this down into 2 pieces. We're going to go with the hips, we're going to go with the torso. If you're unable to get down while keeping your heels on the ground without falling, or can't really get down to that parallel, you have tight hips, and we're going to address that. If you're able to go low, but as you squat down, you fold up, we have some thoracic spine issues, especially with that extension, so we want to hit that. So here are going to be the exercises that we need to do. Okay, so to fix the hips, I could have an entire video just on that. We're going to start with a basic one. We're going to do an assisted squat, feet shoulder width apart. I want this weight to help you hold. We're going to drop down. You can see how low I'm going. Drive and come back up. The weight's there to help. As I get down, I actually take my elbows and push on those knees while I try to sit just a little bit lower. So I'm really feeling some tightness in through that hip joint. We're trying to open that up to allow the hips to go down. Now, a lot of you may actually be limited with strength in the glutes, so it's going to be very difficult for you to get down into that position. This will also help with that. For the thoracic spine, again, same thing. There's a lot of things we can do here, but we're going to do some V squats, heels up. So I'm elevating my heels. This helps with the pelvis tilt. I'm able to drop down very easy. You can see how straight that back stays. I then want to lift one arm up as high as I can without any rotation. The other side, I'm going to lift them both up, and I'm going to feel like I'm pushing them back as I'm standing up. This really helps to activate into those traps, plus help that spine extend. It's really going to make a big difference whenever it comes to that deep squat. Again, everything being down and through that position. For this one, we're looking at the amount of separation that we have. Now, the separation is going to be important because it's going to be very difficult to get those hips open if the upper body is going with it, because I'm already across it pretty much to the ball. So what we want to do is take our club, we want to hold those shoulders completely still, and I want to see how much we can get that to move without the shoulders moving, and then the complete opposite, okay? If we need to work one independently, what we can do is as simple as a stork turn, to where again that upper body doesn't move, but you can see I have to rotate around this hip, moving while this is still. Or very simple, we can take the club, you can use a cable, whatever, but I'm going to turn and turn while keeping that zipper still. Once you're done with whichever one or both that you need, spend some time trying to turn, open up those hips. You can see my hands are staying nice and still, coming down and through. And as I'm doing that, I'm really thinking about trying to get that hip back and through there, down and through that shot, stabilizing. For the last one, we're actually going to be looking at flexion of that spine, and allowing you to go side to side, because as we come down and through this position, you can see that this torso is slightly back, this is in front, plus it's opened up. Something that's very important but often overlooked. What we're going to do is go down, we're going to put the leg out roughly to a 45 degree, I'm going to stay straight forward, but I'm going down and pulling. Now this is going to hit down in that QL. If you don't know where that is, you'll find out as soon as you stretch this. It's not uncomfortable, but it's extremely tight on a lot of players. Again, that's that big muscle that likes to pull as we try to do that. Same thing, go through, stretch. There's no real assessment. It's just something that's great for a lot of you to do. Get that back loosened up. There are the 5 exercises that you need to help stay down and through. Yes, there's a ton more, but something that I see, different take on the workout Wednesday. Let me know what you think, many more to come.